Yo, what is up, fam, and welcome to another video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about how to use your perception to make you more successful. So just before I start this video, I upload every Monday and Thursday. I missed the last one, but that's because I was in Mexico for a bachelor party. Anyways, every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m., I'll be uploading a new video to help you become more successful in your life in general. So starting off with perception. Now, you have to understand how it can even change your chances of becoming successful. So just some good examples right off the top. There's a bunch of studies that show that professional athletes that are very confident, that are able to calm themselves down. Say, for example, in a penalty shot for soccer, when they're viewing the net, someone who is calm, confident, and is good at what they do will see the goalie as small, like actually see the goalie as small and the net bigger. Someone who is scared and anxious and maybe isn't as confident will actually see the goalie as way bigger in relation to the other person, and the net will feel small, which means that for them to score is actually harder because they're seeing less of an opportunity of an open net. Whereas the person who is calm, is aware of their body, and has done this before is seeing a huge opportunity to score, and they're thinking that there's no way this goalie is going to score. Not to say that they might miss, but they have a better chance of scoring because the net is much bigger. Even though in reality, it is exactly the same for both people, but our perception is totally different. And that goes for the same in golf. There's also a study on that done for when they're putting, and there's the hole that they're putting into. For people who are less anxious and more confident and calm, will see the hole as bigger, where the opposite will happen for the other person that is more anxious, not as confident, isn't as calm, and so forth. So what I'm trying to say is that this can relate into business in many different ways. It's how you perceive what's in front of you, and it's also based on what you've done before as well. If you're confident, if you're also aware, if you're anxious. So what I'm gonna do here is try to give you examples on how I've changed my perception to benefit me. And maybe some of these things can relate to you as well, because I know a lot of the time, if you're starting a business or you're starting some kind of venture, that you're gonna have these perceptions of people in front of you, or the tasks at hand that might feel extremely hard, and that net might feel tiny to you, and the obstacle in front might feel massive. So what I'm gonna say might relate to you and help you, and I hope it does. So the first thing for me when I was starting my business is I always used to perceive these bosses, these people that started businesses, as extremely powerful and unapproachable, and that I wouldn't be able to talk to them. I would also think that they wouldn't want to hear my ideas, that I wouldn't be able to negotiate with them. But that is my perception, because if I took someone that was already in business, that has talked to these people, they would see them as regular people. So in reality, it's the same person, but we're perceiving it totally different. So you have to get that into your head, that these people in front of you that own these businesses also at some point started in the same position that you are. So you want to create something that is relatable. This person I'm about to go talk to in this negotiation once was in my position. They had no idea what they were doing. They had no schooling, they had no background. They most likely made tons of mistakes. They might have also had the same perception as you going in to talk to these people. So you have to understand, they've been through the exact same thing. Maybe because they have all this stuff backing them, they might seem scary and big. But in reality, strip that all away, they're just another person that went through the same thing as you. With that being said, it changed my perception when I became aware of that. Now, when I go and talk to a business owner or someone that has created something amazing, I don't see them as scary. I'm not intimidated, because I know that they were once in my position, that they are also a human being, and that they know how to have fun, and that they're cool. And sometimes I like to think of them as just a kid in an adult's body, and I'm just talking to a friend. Obviously, you have to be more professional when it comes to making negotiations, but at the end of the day, they are still a person. They have similar interests to you, maybe not all the same, but they were once in your position. Now, that perception right there will change the game for you, and it has changed the game for me, because before, I wouldn't want to approach these people. I'd be scared, because I'm scared of maybe rejection or failure in that sense. But now, I'm not scared of it. If there's someone I want to talk to, or a business owner, I just go straight to them, whether it's in person, on a phone call, maybe reaching out to someone that already knows them and setting up something, but I'm not scared anymore. Number 2, this one I hope is relatable to you guys. I used to perceive money as a time exchange. So I would go to construction, work 12 hours, I'd be paid for those 12 hours. If I wanted to make more money, I had to put in more time. So for me, it was time equaled money, money equaled time. It was just like an exchange like that. I changed my perception. What am I actually doing? I'm going to work, I'm pouring concrete for a company, which means that I'm providing value and then they're paying me. They've just marked it in a way that I'm being paid for the time. But in reality, I'm providing value for them. It's just easier for them to pay me by the hour, and they make more money that way. Because if they pay me for the value of me, say, doing a huge street of concrete, I should be paid more. And when you see that, then you start to feel like you're worth more. So I started to see money as value, which means that you can also provide anybody value if you're good at something, if you can help someone, which means that you're not just making money from exchanging time now, you're making money from providing value. And if you're extremely valuable in a certain niche, then that means you're gonna make even more money. And that's where you can increase your experience and level and hone into something that you enjoy and become very good at, that people also need in their lives. Now you can make money by providing value to individual people and not just this one company that requires you to pour just concrete, and that's the only value you can give. And it's not even really value, because your value is your time, because that's what most people see it as, even though the value is that you're actually pouring this concrete and making it look all nice so that people can drive on, because that is helping out people, but the company is only paying you for the time. So say if you even, obviously this is a long shot, but if you provided that value for individual people, say building driveways, and you built driveways for 10 people, well, now you've provided value for 10 different people. You're gonna make a lot more money than if you were to just go and provide value for that one company for 10 hours. Now, obviously, that is a skill. You would have to make sure that you're good at it, that you know what you're doing. But what I'm saying is there is an opportunity now for you. Whereas before, you had a 24-hour opportunity. Now you have an endless opportunity to increase your level and skill in anything. As long as you provide value to these people, you are going to make a lot more money. Whereas before, if you perceived it as time, you only had 24 hours. And now you are absolutely limited, and it doesn't become there is no question about your skill. I mean, it is, obviously you're gonna get paid more for your time, but it's not worth the amount, because you can provide more value to individual people. Number 3 is that I used to perceive things that went wrong. So when I was starting my business, if a bunch of things started going wrong, I would take that as, okay, this isn't for me. I'm not good at this. Maybe I should try something different. Now I perceive it as, okay, I clearly haven't hit a threshold or a cap out in this specific niche. I'm consistently making mistakes, which means that there's an opportunity to learn and evolve. And that right there means that you can increase your value. Because if you stop at this part where it's this point where it's very hard and you're making consistent mistakes, that might be your little threshold. But if you were to exceed that and learn how to overcome that, now your worth is going to go higher and higher, which means that you can provide more value. You're going to be technically better than other people the higher you go, which means that you're more attractive in whatever niche that you're doing, because you've surpassed so many levels, so many people. You become really good because you found solutions to these problems that maybe some other people haven't found, which means now you can provide more value to these people, which means they will pay you more rather than just the whole time thing. So anyways, in the sense of perception, what I'm saying is when things start to go wrong, you don't want to perceive it as this isn't for me. You want to perceive it as this is an opportunity for me to gain more experience, learn, and increase my value within this niche. The last one is that I used to perceive money as success, or success as money. And now I perceive it as multiple different things. Being able to travel, making connections, relationships, creations, as well as money. When you change your perception on this, things really change and your opportunities start to come all around you. Because if you just perceive success as money, you're only gonna look for opportunities that make you money. If you start to look at opportunities as what I just said, you're going to find opportunities in creating relationships, traveling more, making these connections, and creating new things. Now think about that. If you do all of those things because you see them as success, you're gonna make more money anyways. Whereas if you just see it as making money, you're gonna have to do all those things anyways, but that's not what you're perceiving. That's not what you're perceiving as success, so you're not gonna be as inclined to do it. Whereas if you perceive all those things as successful, if you have more good relationships, more connections with people, then you're going to see that as success and you're going to continually look for those things. Those were my biggest perception changes that literally led me to basically open up my mind to the world and see how many opportunities there are and that you can literally do anything, create anything, and it is 100% achievable. There are many more examples, but those ones right there were huge for me. So I hope that helps you guys out. This was a short video, but I think it has a lot of value to it. And if it did, make sure you guys drop a thumbs up. It does show me that you guys are enjoying these videos and that they are providing you some type of value. Anyways, see you guys in the next one. Peace.